Have you ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels? Practicing for hours and hours but not actually getting any better? Well, you are definitely not alone. It turns out that old saying, practice makes perfect, it's really only half the story. So today, we're going to dive into a framework that totally changes the game, revealing the secret to practicing smarter, not just harder. I mean, we've all been there, right? You hit that dreaded plateau. Doesn't matter if it's a musical instrument, a sport, learning a new language, even coding. You just can't seem to break through to that next level. It's so frustrating. It feels like you're just stuck in the mud. So what's really going on here? Why isn't all that hard work paying off? Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. Here's the big secret. The problem usually isn't what you're practicing, it's how you're practicing. And this quote right here, it's the key that unlocks everything. It's not just about learning what to do, it's about learning how to practice it. That's the real difference maker. That's what separates the pros from the people who just stay stuck. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to nail down the practice problem itself. Then, we'll look at a really cool 3-part solution. We'll break down each level, level 1, level 2, and level 3. And we'll wrap things up by showing you how you can take all of this and basically become your own best coach. Okay, first up, the practice problem. So what is it exactly? Well, it really boils down to a lack of structure. Think about it. Most of the time, we either fall into this trap of just aimless free play, just messing around with no real goal, or we do the opposite, and we just sort of passively wait for a coach or a teacher to tell us exactly what to do next. Neither one is very effective. So what's the fix? Well, here it is, a simple but super powerful 3-part solution. Now, this framework actually comes from the world of competitive fencing, which is pretty cool, and it's built around 3 ideas: drilling, sparring, and bouting. Let's break down exactly what each of those means. Okay, let's dive into level 1, perfecting your technique. This is the absolute foundation. You can't build a house on shaky ground, right? Well, this is all about building that rock-solid muscle memory, repeating a movement until it becomes completely second nature. You don't even have to think about it.
So the official term for this foundational level is drilling. And what's so important to get about drilling is how incredibly controlled it is. I mean, look at this definition. In a drill, both you and your partner know exactly what's going to happen. There are 0 surprises. The one and only goal is perfect, flawless execution of a single specific movement. That's it.
And get this, drilling isn't just one single thing. There are 2 main flavors. You've got cooperative drilling, where your partner's whole job is just to help you succeed. They're basically setting you up for a perfect rep. But then you have competitive drilling. Here, you're both working on skills that fit together, like a lock and key. Now here's the magic number for both types, that 80% success rate. That is the absolute sweet spot. It's not too easy, not too hard. It's right where real learning happens. So to make sure your drilling actually works, you just gotta follow these 5 simple rules. Number 1, always aim for that 80% success rate we just talked about. Number 2, if you're stuck and just can't get it, simplify. Break it down, slow it down, take a step back. 3, use realistic speed and size. Don't practice in slow motion if you're gonna have to do it at full speed later. 4, act like it's real. Get your body and mind in the same state they'd be in for the real thing. And finally, number 5, you gotta keep it challenging and fun. If you're bored, you're not learning. All right, so you've drilled your technique to death. It's basically automatic. Now what? Welcome to level 2, applying those skills. This is where you take that perfect, isolated movement and start to actually use it. Think of this level as the crucial bridge connecting pure technique to real-world tactics. And this next stage is called sparring. Now, remember how we said drilling was totally controlled and predictable? Well, sparring is the opposite. It's open, it's mobile, your partner can do whatever they want, but, and this is a huge but, you are still operating with certain self-imposed limits. The goal has shifted. It's not just about perfect execution anymore. Now it's all about learning tactics, nailing your timing, and figuring out how to set up your moves when things are a little chaotic. And this next point is probably the most important mindset shift you have to make for sparring. You have to completely let go of the idea of winning. I'm serious. The goal is not to score points or to beat your partner. The goal is to make as many high-quality attempts of the skill you're working on as you possibly can. Sparring is a laboratory. It's a place to experiment and fail and learn. It is not a competition. So what happens when your partner is just totally shutting you down? They're not giving you the opening you need to practice your skill. Do you just give up? No way. You adapt.
You can try moving to create a new opening. You can use fakes and feints to trick them into changing their position. You can surprise them by suddenly changing your distance or your timing. Or hey, if nothing's working, just adapt and switch to practicing a different skill for a bit. The first opportunity will come back around. Okay, on to the final stage, level 3, winning strategically. We've drilled the technique, we've sparred to learn the tactics. This is where it all comes together. This is the top of the pyramid. And it's not just about winning, it's about winning smartly. Now, this is a really, really important distinction to understand. There's a huge difference between just playing the game, what we'll call free bouting, and what we're calling bouting practice. See, in free bouting, all you care about is winning. That's it. Any learning that happens is kind of passive, almost accidental. But in bouting practice, winning isn't the main goal. The priority is active learning. You're setting up specific scenarios, adding weird rules or limits, all to intentionally train your strategy, your game sense, and even your psychology. And these examples are just brilliant at showing what this looks like in action. I mean, imagine you're a fencer and you set up a practice match where the ref is always biased against you. That's going to force you to come up with totally new ways to score that are undeniable, right? Or what about this one? You start a match already losing with only 30 seconds left on the clock. Talk about pressure. Or maybe you tell yourself you're only allowed to score using your weakest move. You see, this is active, super targeted, strategic learning at its best. So, when you put all these pieces together, what's the big takeaway? It's this. This 3-part model of drilling, sparring, and bouting gives you the power to become your own coach. You no longer have to just sit around and wait for someone else to tell you what to do. You have the blueprint. You know, the person who developed this framework had this huge personal breakthrough when he finally realized this. He understood that his own fencing ability wasn't limited by his coach or his teammates or anything else. It was only limited by the time and the effort he put into his own structured practice. He realized his growth was completely in his own hands. And look, I know this whole model was born on a fencing strip, but its power is absolutely universal. This is a blueprint for getting good at anything complex. It doesn't matter if you're on a piano bench, at a coding terminal, or on a tennis court. This 3-level system, drill, spar, bout, gives you the structure you need for truly intelligent practice, no matter the skill. And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. You now have the framework. You've got the blueprint. You know how to drill your technique, how to spar with tactics, and how to practice your strategy. You have everything you need to become your own coach. So really, there's only one question left. What skill are you going to master with this?